Yo, 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 it's Our Lifestyle, the podcast. It's ODB. Thanks for coming back and rocking with us on YouTube for our mini Truckin Magazine flip through series. Appreciate all the thumbs up, all the thumbs ups, all the likes, all the comments. A few people have chimed in recently and said, hey, you've inspired me to do some cool stuff. So whether that's your collection on the rise or just getting out there and reminiscing about the memories, we appreciate all you guys. And before we start this video for March of 92, which is issue technically 18, I wanted to say if you visit our website, Our Lifestyle Podcast, we have a ton of stuff out there, including mini truckin' themed skate decks. So pretty cool. Here's Bada Bing. That's my Chevy S10. So I was kind of honored when we went ahead and put together the Jimmy's Rod and Customs built S10 and the artwork by Graphic Disorder. Of course, we went to Get Decked to have these made, and you could purchase like boards or boards like this on our website, Our Lifestyle Podcast, just like that sticker right there, .com. If you use code YoSanta through Christmas, you get 15% off the entire site, YoSanta. All right. So as I mentioned here, you got technically issue 18. So many of you have kind of went through all of these. So far, the last video was issue number 1 because I finally acquired that. Still missing issue 2. And we are on to issue 18. We're back on track. Eventually, once I obtain issue 2, I will go through that one. The significance of this issue is a couple. You got 9 features. Of course, Steelwell is still the editor-in-chief. This truck is still around, okay? It's changed hand a few times, as I understand. And I think there was a guy that, it seems like he's tied to the Radwood people. You might follow them on Instagram. Seems like a buddy of his or someone that was tied into that. But I remember following the guy, and I was like, damn, this is really cool. This truck was in a garage, and he had a bunch of plaques in there, and it was pretty awesome. Then one of our homies recently stepped up and he purchased it. He's really collecting a lot of cool stuff. We'll put a link to his Instagram in the bio if you want to follow him. So as we jump right in, you basically have, as I said, March 9 Deuce. About 7 months before Dre and Snoop dropped The Chronic, one of my all-time favorites, as you guys know. And what a great year. Still, at this point, we're not even to monthly yet. So, we'll talk about that, as I mentioned before, when we get to it. The other significance is, for those scoring at home, Mike Shartsis, who has been on our podcast, this was his first cover. And he shot, I think it was 27 total, credited with 27, including like the anniversary issues. And that includes one that he shot with, rest in peace, Sean Carlson. So let's jump in here. And it is starting to get a little bit dark out here. So I want to kind of get through this while we got a little bit of decent daylight. So you got the Viper alarm. I remember seeing this out a whole bunch. He's getting his hands dirty. And again, thank you guys for rocking with us. Most importantly, please listen to the podcast. As I always preach, you can often go to your favorite podcast app, like Apple Podcasts, and just search OLP. It doesn't work on all platforms, but worst case scenario, just search Our Lifestyle Podcast. We talk about all kinds of stuff, primarily mini trucks. But you guys know me, whether it's death row, hip-hop, 80s, 90s, a little bit of BMX, we're down to talk about it all. So again, Shartsis, his first cover, if I remember correctly, I kind of was looking at my notes earlier. 9 features, which is pretty awesome. That's kind of at the, the tipping point of features, not including like under construction or the mini truck and marquee. So pretty jam-packed issue. See a couple of ads, Truck Bash 9 Deuce. Pretty cool stuff here, paper cuts. And again, I had someone comment literally on Instagram, I think it was this morning here on Sunday, and they said, hey, keep up the good work, and I can't thank them enough for saying that. They said they had just acquired issue 1 of Mini Truckin. I was like, damn, people be acquiring that stuff pretty quick. And they said thanks, for inspiring them. So it means a lot. Hey, I wanted to show you guys this. Who doesn't remember these? There's actually like a mini documentary I call it a mini documentary on YouTube that talks about how this whole gimmick worked. Columbia House. It's basically a racket. And the record industries kind of went along with it because they really didn't want to not take the sales, but at the same time, they weren't making really any money on it. How funny is that? It's pretty cool if you go out there and check it out. I'm sure you could search. I forget what channel it's on. So the truck on the cover, flip back here. Of course, you see Stillin right there. That name's been around a long time. And I think there's still a Stillin decal or like, a reproduced one on the cover. So top chopping. You can tell that thing looks modded. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, again, I've said this before. You could imagine back in the day before like Street Source, the internet, AOL chat, all that stuff. This is where information was spreading. Showtime 9-2. There's a show on Amazon Prime. They talk about this truck, Steve Steelwell's. And my understanding was it was wrecked shortly after it was completed. We do want to get Steve Steelwell on. Thank you so much to Brian McCormick, one of the OGs. He has been on the podcast before. And that's one of our guests that we're focused on in 2021. So here's Highway Blaster, a road racing look with an eye toward. Trying to read through the phone sometimes. Heat meters. Yeah, 35 millimeter. Introductory price. So you still have kind of the sideway gimmick that I kind of mentioned. For whatever reason, I mean, it was pretty cool. You could imagine if you were going to like in the news to get a plaque made and stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe they made it easier if they had the plaque. They turned this one, of course, landscape. And then, this was obviously right side up. Landscape, portrait, whatever. So tilt beds on the rise. Our little spin off the Tony Boss Bolin onto Rise fame. Who would not go back and order like 100 of these? $3 each. Put them in some binders. Fast forward 30 years. I have a few issues. Oh, this is gold right here. I have a few issues of Mini Truckin that have never been opened, and that's thanks to my boy Joey, one of the OGs out there. Gave me some gold. So tell me this isn't awesome, right? I mean, back in the day, you're trying to figure out which head unit you want. That was such a big part of the build of your stereo. Obviously the head unit. You had the tape cassettes on the rise. You had some old school gold right there. It's all coming back full circle. Pretty cool little tech article. So you got the black and white. All right, Sin City Cruiser. So Las Vegas again. When we had Sal Napoli, he talked about, I don't think Vegas gets all the credit they're due for the amount of stuff they built, especially back in this era. But they're still going strong. Approaching Perfection by Mike Larson. Almost looks like Ruben's old Mini. Ruben had some tech articles in here. He's a friend of ours, R.A. Ruben. Speaking of R.A., big ups to Relaxed Atmosphere. Next year, celebrating their 30th anniversary. It's going down at Lone Star Throwdown. Regardless if you want to be there for that, LST, you can visit LoneStarThrowdown.com and pre-register. We're looking forward to Conroe, Texas, the last weekend in February. So Martin Nevis, Anaheim, Cali, 88 Toyota Extra Cab. Thing is gold. Kind of still looks all the same from what I recalled seeing in the photos. So we're looking at March 9 Deuce Mini Truckin Magazine. Really an awesome issue. And this Slam Bam, thank you, ma'am. A truck ride is so low, it would make a snake's belly envious. Now, my understanding, Eric Perkins, Clean Concepts, see the bed work there. My understanding that this was the first body drop truck featured. I know there was a lot of debate back in the day which truck, or still maybe which truck was the first body drop mini truck, but this one, from what I recall over the years, was technically the first. We went through all the issues, of course, except for issue 2, but we pretty much know around this era is when the truck started being body dropped, channeled, that type of thing. Comment below if you have intel otherwise, but again, going through them, that's the first one I remember. And I think I noted that in my notes. Minutes and Mini Truckin'. I found an old link the other day to Street Source, and it was Courtney, rest in peace, and he was talking about Wyatt Strange, the character. And I want to talk more about that in the future. Many of you know not only him, but Clint Walker. They wrote, it was Jeff at Devious Customs that reminded me that Clint, or advised me that Clint, this is pretty cool, Bobby's Love, that Clint also wrote under that moniker, so to speak. Riding High. That body line's cool, man. My buddy Adam lived near my friend John, and he had this year, around these year, Nissan hard bodies. Of course, he had the 3 little deals in the front of the hood back when people were shaving those a lot. But, dude, that thing is awesome. It's pretty cool to see Monster Minis. Booger Bash. Never made it to this one. Always remember reading about it. You see Mike Larson there. That color, though. You got the old school looking paint there. Again, a lot of times I think on YouTube here, you can, if you don't have the best resolution, I think you can even change it. You click the little arrow and you can change it to, if you need it higher. I think a lot of times it just defaults to whatever is best for your connection. Check out some of those names. Look, Sal Napoli, best multicolor. Oh, and this is, I said it wrong. Burger Bash. I think I said Booger Bash, which is a totally different show. I was like, wait, Sal Napoli's out the West Coast. Check it out. Those glasses, though. Back in the good old days, man. All right, so I'm trying to kind of angle this up some with the sunlight. Street Sleeper. Extended cab, S10, 85. Pretty awesome stuff. But you can see, even though some of these are only 2 or 3 page features, back in the day, I would have rathered having more content, more trucks. So, to have 9 features in one issue. Easter Spring Splash, we've talked about this one. I think I've hashtagged it too. That was where the epic Courtney Hollowell cover, the first group kind of style cover of the magazine, was shot. Now, not in 92. It's actually 94. It came out a few months later on the cover. We've talked about that one. It's pretty cool. Every year when we post that one, we try to tag as many people as we can and hashtag it. We've tagged a ton of people. We've even had Chris Kudo on that said, hey, yo, I was there too. Straight down to earth when he was a young buck. So it's pretty cool, man. That's what the podcast does. We don't do it for any other reason but to really just kind of keep the stories alive. We see a lot of people going, mini trucking is not dead, which we totally agree, but you know, for us, we want to kind of curate these stories and photos and shows and the knowledge. It seems like every time we're turning around, we're losing guys and ladies, especially in this crazy 2020 year. So, you know, we want to keep it going, keep the pedal stomped. So again, it's kind of getting a little dark. Kind of see the tech article. I always kind of thought of these tech articles like if this wasn't anything that you were into or you didn't want to necessarily learn about, it was always my kind of just, you know, thing is like I would skip through it. But for stuff that I was interested in, I would read about it and I'm like, all right, it's a lot of work. I get it. I can't do it. There you go, the 92 Truckin calendar, Steve Steelwell's rig. Pretty cool. That's the inside back cover. All right, let me see. Let me make sure. Actually, I'm wrong. That was a couple pages in. That was actually a little bit heavier of a page. So here you go, off-road. Enter shows. That was who threw Cal Truck Jam. We want to talk more about that show. There you go, California Off-Road Jamboree. So much history there. And then X-Tang, who obviously advertised a ton. And then you got the back cover. So there you go. So our lifestylepodcast.com, Yo Santa, 15% off, whether it's stickers, a few skate decks, of course, tons of shirts, all different kinds of stuff. We also have banners. You name it, we've got it. We've got a few hats left, not a lot of stuff. We've got tank tops. If you go to the shirts, you can kind of go through there and you'll see which ones are available in tanks and things such as that. Tank tops, we typically only have a couple sizes. We also will sometimes have the bigger sizes, including talls. So go out there and check us out. Certainly appreciate everyone. I know it's been a crazy year. If, you know, like we always tell people, if you're battling challenges in your life or whatever, reach out to your friends. I know a lot of people, especially around the holidays, it's tough. I know it's tough on even me, you know, having lost my pops 3 years ago. So, you know, just get out there, talk to the homies and whatnot. And hopefully we can get through this crazy year and back on the rise in 2021. So thanks for rocking with us. Issue 18 of the famed Mini Truckin Magazine, Mike Schartz's first cover. Damn good job, Mike. And got plenty of merch, stickers, you name it. Skate decks. Some Back to the Future stuff out there too, what? Trucks of Rosa on the rise. You name it. We got it. ODB, we at ya. Peace.